So, good morning. Welcome, welcome. I wanted to tell you today, I hope everybody, first of all, this is like the day after all the holidays for everybody. It's the day after the holiday of Passover, it's the day after the holiday of Easter, whoever's on. And I don't know about any other, religions, but for those two religions, this is the day after. So we're all getting back to basics here. So for this class, I wanted to tell you actually some of my favorite stories of life that I feel have such important messages. And I thought it would be a really exciting idea. So I'm going to start with actually my favorite story of all time. And it's the story of a wise person. It could be a rabbi, it could be some holy man, it could be a holy woman, whatever. For our purposes, we're just going to say a very holy person decided that when he was a young he or she, I'm just going to say he, okay? Just to make it a little bit easier. Nobody please take offense. So when he was a young boy, he said, I'm going to change the world. Very, very idealistic person, right? And he got a little bit older and a little bit wiser, and he said, oh my goodness, I can't change the world. I'm going to change my country. And he got a little bit older and a little bit wiser, and then he said, I can't change my country. I'm going to change my town. Whatever your town is, wherever that wise person was living, I don't know, but so he realized as he got older and wiser, I can't change my town. I'm going to change my family. And we all know how that one goes, right? And he realized as he got a little bit older and wiser, can't change my family. And finally, when he was an old man, he realized that the only person he could really change was himself. And when he changed himself, he changed his family, he changed his town, he changed his country, and he changed the world. And I was always very baffled by this story, until recently. It's like, how does it come about? You change yourself, you change the world. So recently I've gotten into a vibrational therapy, and it's really, really true that when you change yourself, those vibrations go out into the universe and they change everything. So the more we say charity begins at home, right? So this is your home, right? Your home is your body. And by treating yourself with a lot of love, I always like to say, I'm learning to treat myself as if I was someone I really, really love. I mean, I've had friends who treated their dogs better than they treated themselves, okay? Treated their pets better than they treated themselves. They bought them organic food. They only fed them healthy things. They didn't overfeed them. They took them for walks every day or, depending on the animal. But, when it came to themselves, but that has to be where it begins, right? It has to begin. Let the change you want to see in the world begin with us. So that's why I always emphasize in my health, wellness, and positivity classes that we need to do a lot of self-care, drink enough and rest enough and, eat really good or, food and, go to, professionals if you need to and really work on increasing the health of your inner environment and surround yourself with positivity as much as possible and really build up that inner environment. So this leads me to another my favorite another one of my very, very favorite stories, which I will tell you now. I'm just gonna bring it up on the internet, and it's just 1 second. Bear with me, okay? Okay. So this is actually a story that I got from Psychology Today. So, and I'm sure you've all heard it, but it always bears repeating. It's such an amazing story. A boy and his grandfather are hanging out. The boy says to his grandfather, How is it you never seem to get upset? Don't you ever feel angry? This is the boy saying it to his grandfather. And his grandfather replies, I feel that there are two wolves inside of me, each of whom fights to tell me what to do. Whenever something angers me, one of the wolves is full of fire and wants to attack and act nasty. The other is calmer, thinks clearly, and makes better choices. But they're both always there. And the boy asks, but if they're always fighting, how do you know which wolf is going to win? And the grandfather answers, the wolf who wins is the one I choose to feed. So we all have impulses and habits, some for the better, some for the worse. Our inner wolves, right? What has changed is that modern information era, we're constantly bombarded, barraged with information and imagery, and a lot of it disturbing and angry, that over and over again feeds a particular angry wolf. And this is an article, like I said, from Psychology Today. So what do we have to do? You know, what fills your mind at night? So constantly, of course, what we learn in this class and many other classes is the positivity bias. Always working on seeing things in the world in a positive light. And we always say, you know, we're working towards a life full of, you know, peace and joy and love and harmony and serenity. And we, of course, have to feed the right wolf. There's always, you know, the yin and the yang exists in everything, everywhere, and even within ourselves. You know, we have a negativity bias. And for most of us, like we learned in the happiness class that I taught a couple weeks ago, that the good stuff is almost like Teflon, right? It slides off of us. Like we don't give it much credit. When we get compliments, a lot of us, yes, but. Yeah, okay, somebody says something nice, yes, but, you know, I'm still not as honest as I want to be. I'm still not as positive as I want to be. You know, the yes, buts start happening a lot of times, right? The Teflon, the positivity is Teflon. And the negativity is like Velcro. That's what we say. The negativity bias is like Velcro. It sticks, right? Or it's like glue. It sticks to us, and we have to learn to make the positivity like Velcro and the negativity like Teflon. So if somebody insults us, it goes off of us like, you know, just like Teflon. It has no impact on our inner environment, right? That's what we're aiming towards. We want to have a strong inner environment, both physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So like one of our wisest people in the world said that, you know, he knew he was on such a high level when he was insulted tremendously and he wasn't even affected. He was humiliated, you know, in a very, very profound way, and he wasn't even affected. He knew that everything is for his good, and he interpreted anything that came along with positivity. And that's the place we want to go to, right? So the more positive we are, the healthier we are. The more we take care of ourselves, the more we're able to help others, the more we're full of, you know, good energy, right? Like attracts like, and we attract more positivity. We're like magnets. We become magnetized people, right? So this is a really important concept. So I want you all, you know, to think about this. The other little story I want to tell you is an it's not Arabic, it's an African proverb, and I think I have it here, but I will just bear with me 1 second, and I will bring it up. And I love this one. It's the African proverb about the mosquito. And it's a very short little thing, and it says, if you think you're too small to make a difference, you haven't spent the night with a mosquito. So what does that mean? It's like what we said before. So, and it says again, the African proverbs, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. So that means if you have good, healthy self-esteem, you know, that things just slide off your back. You know, when people can insult you, people can yell at you, people can scold you, people can, I've had a lot of those experiences in my life. Even recently, I got scolded pretty recently for something. And, you know, it's not so much that we're not going to fall. It's how quickly can we climb out of the pit of either jealousy or negativity or resentment or fear. We're all going to have those things happen. You know, all those emotions, we're human beings. We're not, going to be perfect. They're all going to come into our inner environment. It's just how quickly can you transform it and go out of it and come back to a place of positivity, right? So that's what we're aiming for, a very strong inner environment. And you know what was interesting, there was a great rabbi who recently passed away. His name was Avraham Twersky. And when interviewed, he wrote many, I think he wrote about 90 books, they say, I think. And when he was interviewed, they asked him, you know, how can you write 90 books? And what were the main things about the books? And he said, I wrote 90 books about one thing. And what was that one thing? Self-esteem. So I found that really fascinating because, like I said before, charity has to begin at home, has to begin with taking care of this. You know, charity begins at home. Your home is your body. Give yourself a lot of self-care. Make a list of the things that bring you joy, that bring you calm and peace and serenity and harmony and love. And make sure you're doing those things every day. At least, I would say at least 3 of those things if you can. If you can only do 1, you know, and they say humming is really important. Humming has a big effect on the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is influencing our emotional life. So let's hum a lot. That's why, you know, during my classes, I'm always encouraging people, let's hum together. So, on another note, I am a health, wellness, and positivity coach. You can reach me at my email, nechamatk1234@gmail.com. nechamatk1234@gmail.com. And I'd love to be able to help you on a one-to-one level if you can. And with that, I'm going to open up the line for questions, and I'm going to end the recording. And this goes on my YouTube channel, which is under Nechama Zipporah Kessler. You can reach it on YouTube if you ever want to hear it again or send it out to your friends and families. And I'm going to allow everybody to unmute now. So if you would like to, at least somebody please unmute so I know I can hear you.